Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Javon Smith and I'm a photographer as well as videographer. I always get a lot of people who are wanting to get into photography and they always ask me like, oh, what camera should I get or what should I have? And so I thought this would be like the perfect time as we're getting ready to get into summer. I thought this would be the perfect time to make a video on 5 things every photographer or beginner photographer should have. So let's get into it. Alright, now starting off, I'm going to assume you already have a camera. I could sit here and tell you this camera is better than this camera, but honestly there is no best camera. There's a camera that's best for you in your price range. But starting off, the first thing that every photographer is going to want to get or look into would be lenses. There are some people that like to shoot landscape photos or maybe architectural photos. They need a very wide angle lens and maybe a zoom lens so they can get different lengths. And then there are other people who are maybe portrait photographers and they want a maybe prime lens with a low f-stop so you get that nice depth of field. And what that basically is, that gives you that nice blurry background that looks very professional. The next thing every photographer is going to want to have would be lighting. Whether it's natural light from the sun, whether it's studio lights, or even mounted flash that goes on your camera. You're always going to want light, and that always makes your photos that much better. I've literally shown someone 2 different pictures. They were taken on the exact same camera in the same location and been like, what's the difference? And they'd be like, this one was obviously a professional photo and this one was taken like with an iPhone. But the only difference between them was the lighting. And so lighting definitely makes a big difference in photography. Definitely something else every photographer should know is that you need to have creativity. It doesn't matter what type of camera you have, what type of lens you have. It all really doesn't do much if your creativity isn't there. If you're not trying to push the boundaries and get unique angles. So that definitely is something every photographer should know and definitely have in mind. Creativity. Another thing I think all photographers should have would be tripods, gorilla pods, monopods, any type of stand you can set your camera on. I think these are a big help in expanding what you can do with your photography. I know you can set this up on a tripod and of course your images are more still than if they're handheld, but also you can now do long exposure shots. Say you get a rainfall coming down, you want it to have a nice long exposure to where the mountains around the waterfall were nice and still, but then the water is like a nice, smooth, long exposure shot. The last tip every photographer should definitely have would be a portfolio. I think portfolios are a way of getting your name out there, especially if you do this as a business or as your career, or you want to do it as an actual job. You definitely want to have a portfolio. It definitely doesn't have to be some nice fancy website. It can simply be like your Instagram or one of your social medias that has all your pictures, your videos, or whatever you do. Having a portfolio will definitely allow people to see your work, get a feel for what you do, how you do it, and eventually just come to you for business. And so I'll definitely help you out. Yeah. Alright, well there you go. That was 5 tips I think every beginner photographer should have. I know that's definitely things I wish I knew when I was first starting out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're a videographer, I will be making a video after this saying 5 things every videographer should have. So I'll definitely have it up at the end of this video if you want to click and check that out. If you're maybe a photographer and videographer or just a videographer. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like and I will see you in the next video.
Can you hear my